Park to his younger son, David. Colin Hayes has achieved everything that's possible in racing, emerging from a humble background and beginning to being the most influential and respected figure in the sport. His dad died when he was 10. Boatman was a hero. His family had no tradition in racing. He fractured his spine as a 17-year-old riding at a rodeo and bought his first horse for £9. Next week, 66-year-old Colin Hayes will retire as a trainer, leaving behind the most remarkable record. Colin Hayes has completed a long journey that has taken 40 years from that first horse Surefoot and the modest stables at Semaphore to the champions who have been bred and trained at magnificent Lindsay Park. The Hayes honour roll is long and distinguished. He has trained more winners than any other Australian, well in excess of 5,000. Those triumphs have led to 41 premierships, 28 in Adelaide and 13 in Melbourne. His wonderful horses, Dulcify, At Tallack and Rory's Jester, have won the greatest races: the Cox Plate, the Melbourne Cup, the Golden Slipper. Like no other figure in our racing history, Colin Hayes has done it all. Looked at them, bought them, trained them and bred them. His super sire, Without Fear, produced 30 individual winners from his first crop of 2-year-olds. That world record was set in 1976. Another occurred 6 years later, when horses trained by Hayes won 10 city races in a single day. Another, arguably the most impressive, in 1987, when he won 5 group races in an afternoon. Colin has employed the best jockeys, trained for a variety of clients, from the enthusiast who's part of a syndicate to the famous, the Sheikhs of Dubai and Robert Sangster. 2 open heart operations and 6 coronary bypasses in the last decade haven't stopped Hayes from accelerating his fame. No man has executed a philosophy so successfully. The future belongs to those who plan for it. Colin Hayes is a unique personality. Think of another sportsman who has retired at the absolute top of the mountain. CS's, this season, has been his best. More winners, more stake money, more big race victories. Nobody could ask for a more satisfying finale. The story of Colin Hayes, and he joins us on Sports World this morning. Welcome, Colin. It's lovely to have you in here.
Thank you, Bruce.
Well, it is a way to go out, isn't it? What a way to go.
Well, it's been a dream ending, really, for me. It's been a very exciting year, and I'm just... it's not without misgivings, but I feel we can all hang around too long, and I think David's ready, and as I've said, I'll get as big a kick out of him winning now as me training the winners. Well,
it is a perfect way to go out, Colin. We're all attracted to racing for different reasons. There's the social aspect. Some people love horses. Some people just like to have a bet. What was the attraction for you as a very young boy?
The horses. Horses have always been my hobby, and I've been lucky enough to have been able to make it my life. And I think if your hobby's your work, your life goes very pleasantly and quickly, and I've had a great life in the industry.
You've also had some great horses. One of them, Dulcify, who I know is very close to your heart. He was a super horse, wasn't he?
He was a great horse, really a great horse, and we didn't see the best of him. He was really cut short in the prime of his career, but still he gave us many, as I've often said, he gave me my happiest moments with his electrifying finishes, and my saddest moment when he was killed in the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah. Well, let's just go back for a moment. Go back to 1979, when I feel he really emerged as a super horse. It was the Australian Cup. First time at weight for age for a number of years. Brought together the very best horses. Dulcify had won the Derby earlier in the spring, but he was 80 to 1 this day. Manicato was the hot favourite. Here's the closing stages.
400 out and Willits hasn't let go, and Manicato's 2 in front. Now he goes for it, 3 in front from Turf Ruler. Lemaire's gone. Then Double Century, Lloyd Boyd. Dulcify trying to get out from Salamander, Family of Man. With 200 to go, Willits waving the whip at Manicato. The champion 3-year-old's well clear, but Family of Man's flying down the outside. Manicato stopping, and Dulcify will beat them. Dulcify gets the split and gets up the beat Manicato.
What a finish, Colin Hayes. Dulcify getting up to beat one of the greats in Manikato and another champion horse in Family of Man. That must have been some day.
It was a day too. It was one of the magic moments.
Bob Hoisted, who was the trainer of Manikato, once told me that a special horse must be treated specially because they know where they're at. Did you do that with your great racehorses? Give them extra special treatment?
Well, Bob's right, of course, but I think that horses, there's no rule to them. And I'm not saying we treated them specially, but you soon realise by noticing their quirks and changes in behaviour pattern and how much work they can take and what they need and so on. And I suppose he's right, yes.
I've often wondered what makes a great trainer. Is it the exercise program? Is it the feed you give a horse? Is it the way you handle a horse? What do you think the secret is to that?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's probably sensitivity toward the animal. I think if you're good with dogs, it's the tone of your voice when you address them and the way you handle them and expression in the eye and all sorts of things, whether it be any animal, dogs or horses or whatever they are. And I think it's really the sensitivity toward the animal.
Well, you've had some tricky horses over the years. One of them won your final Group 1 race this year, a horse called Boatman. I thought he was lost to you. He came from England with a very good reputation, but he wouldn't do his best. You tried a few tricks with him to get him to the post, didn't you?
Yes, well, he did test me, yes. But he finally found his form, and he had a problem in training on a track because he kept getting down behind and scarping and hurting his stoppers or bumpers. And working home up inclines, they don't do that. So we found by keeping him away from the tracks and also gelding him helped, of course.
And that was something fairly new for a horse owned by Sheikh Mohammed, because normally he keeps his horses as stallions, doesn't he?
Yeah, Sheikh Hamdan doesn't gild. Sheikh Mohammed occasionally will.
Occasionally. Well, let's go back to that last Group 1 race for you. It was in May in Adelaide. The horse was Boatman. He'd been a bit of a rogue. Let's see how he tries at the end of this 2 mile of the Adelaide Cup.
Boatman's after Double Gin. Double Gin the leader. Boatman comes after it quickly now. They're followed by Master Eclipse Reputed. Battling away as his arm, but Boatman goes to Double Gin. Double Gin, he's fighting back. Fight, son. He fights back, Double Gin. Boatman got him. Boatman, Double Gin, dead heat again. I can't split these either. Double Gin or Boatman.
Well, Ron perhaps wasn't the only one who couldn't split them. Boatman getting up, and that really capped off a wonderful career, winning that final Group 1 race in your hometown of Adelaide.
Yes, it was. It was, as I said earlier, another magic moment. And young Hutchinson rode that horse superbly, and he really isn't quite a 2-miler, but he got the 2 mile that day.
We've talked about the horses. What about the personalities you've met, the jockeys and the other trainers and the owners you've trained for over the years? You must have a lot of people that will come to mind in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. There are a lot of characters and personalities, from jockeys to owners, and I've trained for a lot of international personalities like Jack Klugman, the actor, who's a great man, and you wouldn't remember him, but Jack Davey, the radio compere.
Yeah, he's well known, yes.
He was a very humorous man. He invited me up to Sydney one Easter and invited me out in his boat, which was called Hi Ho. He always started his program with Hi Ho, everybody. And as we were walking down to the boat, there were 2 little boys playing in the street. And these boys, he had the common touch, Jack Davey, he could talk to anybody. And he said to these 2 little boys, "Hi, boys," and they said, "Hello, Mr. Davey," because everybody knew him. And Davey stopped and said, "How old are you, son?" The kid said, "I'm 5. And he said, the other little boy, "How old are you, son?" And the kid said, "I don't know." Quick as a flash, Jack Davey said, "Do the girls trouble you?" He said, "No." He said, "You're 4.
That's a great story, isn't it?
That's how quick it was, though.
Well, Colin, you have rubbed shoulders with the elite in racing, from Her Majesty to Robert Sanchez to the Sheikhs, but you also haven't lost the common touch. Let's just finish this by having another look at that super horse Dulcify, and maybe his greatest day, the Cox Plate of 1979.
Oh, Dulcify let go as race to the lead. Shivery's getting off the fence, but Dulcify's going to have a big lead on it. At the 400, Dulcify shot away 2.5 lengths, imposing. Then Shivery under the whip from Arbor Shane and Gypsy Kingdom. But Dulcify well clear. Brent Thompson going for his 4th Cox Plate, and he's got it. He's home, Dulcify. He's 6 lengths in front of Shivery, and then Arbor Shane imposing, stopping. Dulcify's won by a minute, and that's the way he might win the Melbourne Cup. Dulcify by 6 lengths to Chivalry.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen a better performance than that at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day. There have been other great champions, but that horse that day was unbeatable, I think.
Yes, I have to go along with that.
Colin, it's been a wonderful career. Congratulations. Thanks very much for coming in, and I know you won't be retiring completely. You'll still be having a hand in what's going on at Lindsay Park.
Oh, sure, and David will want that, but I just feel while I'm around to help him, it'll be lovely to take a lower profile.
Well, the next week's going to be very exciting and very busy for you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bruce.
Colin Hayes, the master trainer. And the scenes from our backgrounder to Colin Hayes were courtesy of the Race Play Company, entitled from a video, A Kingdom for a Horse. Colin Hayes, the master trainer, retiring after breaking all the records in racing. We'll be back with more Sports World after this break.
Right now, Mazda 4x4